guys, today I'm going to show you this look using only Wet n Wild. Not my favorite, but it's a look. So if you want to see how I got this, keep watching. Alright guys, so I'm going to start out with this Photo Focus 3-in-1 primer water, and it smells like coconut. I'm going to use this as a primer. I already put lotion on my face. I don't like to use this as a setting spray. Now I'm going to take my Photo Focus concealer and put it on my neck / double chin area. And I didn't really care for this concealer too much, especially for this area. I might like it better under my eyes, but this is just a large area to cover with concealer, and the doe foot applicator wasn't very big, so I had to keep dipping in multiple times. So then I'm just going to take my Real Techniques beauty sponge and blend that in some. Gotta make sure I got that neck / double chin area snatched. Then I'm going to take my Photo Focus foundation and put it all over my face and try to move quickly. It looks like this part is sped up, but I think I was just moving really fast. No, this has to be sped up. I must have sped it up and didn't realize it. Anyway, you've seen me put foundation on before, so I'm just putting it on like I normally would. And this foundation is a good foundation. I use it on days that I'm not working because it doesn't last a whole 12-hour shift at work. But it is good for days when you're off and you're just running to the store to get groceries or whatever. It lasts, 8 hours. It's pretty good, especially because it's like $5. So I've used this foundation over and over for a while since it came out. It's been out for a few years now, and I've been a fan of it ever since it came out. So I'm just going to get my neck / double chin area. So I'm going to take the same concealer that I used before and put it under my eyes. And this isn't my favorite concealer for under the eyes either. It can be kind of drying and it's not the best coverage. But it works if you're balling on a budget, It's pretty inexpensive and it does help cover the dark circles somewhat. Just not as good as some other concealers that I do have. So I'm just going to dab that in with my Real Techniques sponge. Now I have this Mega Glow contouring palette, and I don't know why they call it Mega Glow because it's matte powders. But anyway, I'm going to take the light powder and use it to set my face, starting under my eyes with a smaller brush, and then I'm going to take a bigger fluffy brush and set the rest of my face with it. And this does work. It's powder, it sets your face, but it's definitely not my favorite. The contour I have used for a contour before. I'm not going to use it in this video for that purpose. And it does work decent. It is very powdery though. So you have to go in lightly with your brush or you'll get powder everywhere. But it's decent for the price point. So now I'm going to take this little 4-pan eyeshadow palette that I found in the shade Petalette. And it's basically just a purple eyeshadow palette. It has written on the actual shadows where you should place them on your eyes, so that's what I'm going to do with them today. Starting with this white shade that I'm going to put on my brow bone, which it's not very pigmented, the white shade is not. So it just kind of sets the primer that I had up there. Then I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush and take the transition shade and throw it up into my crease. And this is a pretty shade. It's a light purple and it is good for a transition shade and it's matte. So I did enjoy this shade in the palette. It blended out pretty decent. I was just using my usual windshield wiper motions to blend it out. Now I'm going to take the same primer water that I used earlier and a flat shade brush and get it wet and go into the light pinkish purple shade that's supposed to go on my lid. and I tried it without wetting my brush first, and it didn't show up very well, so I just went ahead and got my brush wet, and it shows up a lot better when you have a wet brush. Very glittery, shimmery, not glittery, shimmery, and pretty. I do like this shade. So I'm just making sure it's even on my lid. Then I'm going to take another blending brush and go into the dark shade that says to go into my crease, and I'm going to put this on the outer corner of my eye. So just blend it in there on the outer corner into the crease a bit, just to darken up the eye look and blend everything together. And I didn't really care for this eyeshadow too much. It was kind of hard to blend out. Other than that, I did like the eyeshadow palette. Now I'm going to take this ombre blush that I found, and it's in the shade in a purple haze. And I assumed that this would be kind of shimmery, but it's not really at all. It's almost matte, I would say. But it is a pretty shade, so I'm going to take my blush brush and put it on my cheeks like I normally would. And it's pretty pigmented. I do like this blush. It blended out easily. It's a good blush. I imagine it costs like $3, $4 at the most, so it's good for the price. So I'm going to put it on both my cheeks and then on the tip of my nose. And I picked this blush color because obviously I thought it would go with the purple eyeshadow palette, which it did. I thought they both looked nice together. Now I have this mermaid highlighter in the shade Midnight Moon, and I honestly did not care for this. The packaging looks super cute. The little fin imprint on the actual highlighter looks really cute, but it's like a greenish gold shade, and it's pretty dry. It's compared to all my other highlighters, I don't think it's very nice. I know a lot of people like the Wet n Wild highlighters, but none of them that I've tried have I liked, and I've tried a lot of them. So I just think that they're just too dry on my skin. It just looks like powder, kind of ashy on my skin, which is kind of hard to do. So, but I apply it like I normally would, but I'm just saying I would never wear this again. Now I'm just taking a pencil brush and putting the same highlight in the corner of my eye for an inner corner highlight. But, maybe I would use it for this reason, but other than this, I wouldn't put it on my cheeks, that's for sure. Then I realized that I didn't buy anything for brows, so I'm just going to use the same Mega Glow contouring palette that I used earlier to set my face and go into the brown shade and use the pencil brush and put it into my eyebrows. And honestly, I don't think this worked very well for that purpose, but this was the only brown Wet n Wild shade that I had, so I was just going to work with it. But I think it's too powdery to really stick to your eyebrows. Maybe if I had some eyeshadow primer in my eyebrows, it would work out better. But I didn't, so it kind of left my eyebrows patchy. But it's not meant for eyebrows, so that's okay. I'm sure Wet n Wild does have actual brow products. I do remember seeing like a little powder palette for the eyebrows, but I must not have gotten it. So that probably would have worked better. So now I'm going to go back into the eyeshadow palette and take the dark purple shade that was supposed to be in my crease and put it underneath my lash line with a small angled brush. And I'm going to do that on both sides, well, both eyes. Kind of blend it up to the outer corner where it's smoked out. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to take a smudge brush that I have and use the transition shade and just smudge that out so it's not so harsh. So I do think it worked well for this purpose. Kind of a cute purple smoky eye. And I'm going to leave the very inner corner of the bottom of my lash line bare because I'm going to go in with another brush and wet it with the same setting spray and use the light pinky purple shade that I used on my lid and pop it in there. So it's just another little pop of highlight on your inner corner there. I think looks cute. So, and it was pretty easy to blend out and look pretty glittery with the wet brush. Next, I'm just going to show you this Pac-Man bronzer that I got, and I thought it was really cute, but when I swatch it here, you're going to see that it's way too dark for me to use as a bronzer because I'm pale AF and I barely use bronzer anyway. But that's okay, I'll probably just use it as an eyeshadow. Now I'm just going to curl my eyelashes like I normally would and get ready for the mascara that I'm going to use. And the mascara that I found is called Lash Renegade, and I did buy the waterproof in hopes of keeping my curl. And the ball at the end of the wand scares me, but it's a very wet formula. I honestly didn't care for it, but I'm extremely picky when it comes to mascara. It did hold my curl for the most part, so I guess I can't really complain about that. It just didn't really thicken or lengthen my eyelashes, so it just made them black basically. So if that's all that you're looking for, this would be a good mascara for you. But I'll stick with my Lash Paradise mascara even though it's more expensive. I'm just gonna put it on the upper and lower lashes. I did notice that it was a lot harder to get on the lower lashes. It kind of smudged when I was trying to put them on there. You can't really tell so much in the video, but it looked messy. And I think it was just because the formula was so wet. So my advice would be to splurge and get you the Lash Paradise mascara because you're going to be looking a lot better. Now I have this Megalast eyeliner in black. I'm just going to pop this into my lower and upper waterlines like I normally do. And this one, it's not very pigmented, so you have to go over it several times. And it doesn't last long in your waterline either, so I can't say I would recommend this eyeliner. I do like the L'Oreal Infallible eyeliner a lot better. And you notice that my mascara smudged there because it was still wet. Now this is when everything basically started to fall apart. I got this Snow Melt lip powder, which actually is a powder in the tube, but then when you put it on your lips, it becomes creamy somehow. Like melting snow, I imagine. And it's okay. It goes on nice. I do think that it's messy because the tube has powder falling out of it, and then if you touch it, it turns creamy and gets all over everything. And I didn't think that the shade went with the makeup look that I had on, but that's not the lipstick's fault. But as you see there, when you taste it, it tastes awful, which it is transfer proof, but it tastes awful when you lick your lips, and I didn't like the way it made my lips feel either. It was kind of drying for me. So I decided I was going to take this off and put on another liquid lipstick that I have from Wet n Wild. Yeah, the taste was awful. So I actually prefer bullet lipsticks anyway, but the only lipsticks that I have from Wet n Wild are liquid lipsticks. So I made sure to moisturize my lips, and now I'm going in with this liquid catsuit lipstick. and I've had these for a couple years now, and they are decent. I know a lot of people like them. I just, like I said, I'm not a fan of liquid lipsticks that dry out your lips, and they do dry out your lips. I have noticed that if you lick your lips while you have this lipstick on, it will hold the moisture there for a little bit, whereas other ones don't. So that's probably why a lot of people like them, but I just can't stand the feel of a liquid lipstick, a matte liquid lipstick on my lips. And I'm not a big fan of this color, so I thought I would go in with another shade to kind of make it more nude colored. And it didn't really do too much other than make my lips look more messy. So I'm kind of trying to blot it and fix it, and at this point I'm just getting over it. And I think after I was done filming this, I just took the lipstick off of my mouth and rolled with chapstick, because that's really all that you need anyway. So this is the look, and it's not my favorite look, but it's wearable, you know, it'll do. So if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
I need it on my iPad.
Yeah, are you spoiled?
Yeah, I'm spoiled. I want a picture.
Yeah, you're so beautiful. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye, people.
Bye, people.
See you later.
See you later.
I love you.